Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Yenna, and you're watching Complete Quality Review. Today is going to be an overview or part 2 to the last video I did. So we're going to do a flight test again, but I want to go a little more in depth or kind of do a quick overview on how to connect to your drone and go over its features again this time. Since I only have one battery, I couldn't do everything. So for starters, you'll go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Play Store, and you'll just make sure you download the SJRC F11 app. That is going to be the app for the drone, okay? Now, typically when you have a drone, you turn on a controller first and the drone second. In case if the drone does anything crazy when you turn it on, you already have your controller to control it. But in a manual, they say to turn on the drone first. I'll still be turning on the controller first. Okay, so after you download your SJF app, you're going to click on your app. We're going to turn on our controller, hold down the power button, and then we're going to turn on our drone by holding down the power button on the top. You'll hear that sound. Unlike the old one where you have to go up and down, they pair automatically. So now we'll come down to our Wi-Fi, and we're going to hold it. And it should find the drone, should pop up. There we go, SJF Pro, and it's connected. When it's connected, it'll say connected but no internet. That's when you know it's successfully connected. There we go, connected without internet. We go back. When I hit controls, it's gonna show what the drone sees, and that will show that we are connected. So we'll hit controls, set successfully. So as you can see, here's the drone, and it is showing the car in front of me. So we know we're connected. Sometimes you'll see your controller red like that. Double tap and hold off. Turn it back on. And now it should be like that. Your controller shouldn't be red. Now the controller is paired. Now, when you go in this direction, you always want to do a compass calibration and your gyro before you fly every new field you go to. Especially with these drones because they will do their circling effect. There we go. So then once it does this, it's telling us to turn the drone sideways. So you pick up your drone. We're going to turn it. See the lights blinking on the front? We're looking at our phone. Okay. So now after I turned it, you can see now it's telling me to point it up and turn it. So now we point our drone up. We carefully turn it until the app tells us to stop. Told me to stop. So now we set the drone back down. Okay. And this does happen with this drone. So I just want to say, you can see how the camera's tilted, it will straighten itself back out. And if it doesn't, you just turn the drone off, turn the control off, turn it back on, and usually it straightens that camera out. Just wanted to give that as a heads up. Okay. Over here, we have our one key takeoff. So you can push that to take off. We have here our return to home, our GPS return to home. It's going to return to where you took the drone off. When you fly the drone up in the air, let it sit there for a little bit so it can kind of accurately record where it took off from, so the return to home is more accurate. And over here is just our flight modes. In the last videos, we went through these. We've got stopped short at the waypoints, so I'll kind of start off with there. And try to do like a small range test in a real environment, because we are at a school, and this is typically where people fly at, in a school or, you know, in a park or something like that. So it'll give you a realistic range, okay? So we have our battery, our satellite connection, our voltage on our battery, etc. Okay, so now we're gonna go and fly. So to arm your motors, it's down and in. You'll hear her say fly, and you'll see the drone arms its motors. Then to take off, you could hit your one key takeoff, or you could hit up. I typically hit up. Just like that. You'll see it go up. And I'm just gonna let it sit there for a little bit. Let it record. It is a GPS drone, so I'm gonna let it record its location so the return to home's accurate. And as I stated before, it will slightly move, but I think that's because it has a barometer and no sensors at the bottom. That's typical of drones that are budget and that have no sensors at the bottom. Okay. So I'm gonna get up close. And you'll see how it moves just a little bit like that, up and down. We got a very small breeze, but nothing much. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna take it up and I'm gonna start a waypoint. So we're gonna take it up. Okay. And now I'm going to set a short waypoint. So I'm gonna hit, or as they call it, route rules. Okay, so now we're gonna do a quick small waypoint flight. Okay, so right now, just to show, I'm gonna my camera. I know it's a little odd seeing my camera, but this is a very easy way for me to show you guys what I'm seeing and show the drone and then go back and forth to the app. So I'm just gonna do like a small waypoint mode, like right around here, okay? So we're gonna flip back to the app. Now here, as you can see, we're on our map. You can change this to standard, satellite, or standard 9. I think that's like a mixture. Okay, we're gonna go to satellite. So I'm gonna do a small waypoint here, 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 here. Okay. And then we're gonna hit go, okay? Slide. And it's flying the path. Gonna take it up, make sure it doesn't hit any trees. Okay, it'll reach waypoint 2. And down there on the left, you can see what the drone sees. I can't blow it up. If you click it, it just makes it go away. Oh, no, there we go. We can make it bigger. Perfect. Okay. And now we can see our waypoints at the bottom. So you just tap the screen and you can flip in between them. So you can get a good idea of how that camera looks too. Okay, so I think, okay, completed the waypoint. So let's make one more waypoint and bring it back. And there's 2. So it says begin flying. We're now going to switch over to the screen. Sorry for that sound, that's just me pulling the gimbal down. Okay. That's coming back. It's flying smoothly. Now that that's out the way, while we got the drone already up in the air and we have full or a pretty decent battery, we'll do a short flight test. It can't go crazy, but this flight test will give you a realistic idea if you're in a park or a school or anything like that about how far you can go. Okay. So we're going to go across that field. I'm going to take it up some. It's actually a nice picture. Oh, the wind's blowing it around a little bit up there. Okay, we are getting some wind. I'm going to have to switch it to sport. Just wanted to take a picture there. Okay. So I'm going to take it up, then I'm going to go. I'll record this. Okay. And we're going to switch to sport mode and go. And that camera looks really good. It's like getting a sunset pretty decent. Looks really good. So usually with the old one, after we pass this football field, the old one usually as we get to those trees over there is where it starts to cut out. This one should be similar, but we'll see how it behaves. Right now we're good. It's going smooth, no breakups or anything yet. Tilt the gimbal, make sure it's still, yep, it's still good. And as you go with your drone or any drone, you're going up a hill or down a hill, just try to point your transmitter to be kind of like lined up with the drone for the best signal. If you have your transmitter pointing down and your drone's like under a hill or up too high, you may want to like even it up a little bit. And we do got some wind coming in now. We're going to go up a little higher. So our distance right now is 1,500 feet. Okay. We'll go up. So we're at 1,700 feet. We're still smooth. Okay, we're approaching 2,000 feet. So this is further than the last one. And we still have, let me move my gimbal. Yeah, we still have full transmission. The old one cut out or started to break up. It did like a return to home, I want to say maybe around like 1,000 feet. Okay, we're still going. I'm moving the gimbal just to make sure like my transmission's still good. So we're 2,300, 2,400 feet out. Wow, this one's really going. I still have full control. We're at 2,500 feet. So we're at actually a half a mile right now. A mile is 5,280, 5,280 feet. And it's still going. Let me move the gimbal. Yep, I still have full control. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring it back. And the only reason why I'm going to bring it back is because, well, we get the point. It goes pretty far. I don't want to run that battery out because it's probably going to, I got to come back through the wind and then it's going to probably fight that battery. So I'm going to hit 3,000 feet and then turn back. That's more than a half of a mile. Okay. I'm going to turn back. I still have full control. As you can see, the football field's all the way over there. So here's where we come back. It could go further. I'm not getting any breakups or anything. And as you can see, there are homes around. There's, you know, a lot of things that can interfere with the signal, and that's pretty decent. My
return home.
Okay. So it's actually doing a return home on its own. I don't know why. I'm gonna cancel. Let's see if I can cancel that. Okay. So that just gives you an idea. That was just something right quick to give you an idea of what to expect. And the antennas aren't real, so just try to point your transmitter, you know, up a little bit. I think I lowered it a little bit and maybe got behind a tree, and that's why I did that. But I would say that's pretty decent. And it's flying smooth. You really get an idea of the camera. We're at sunset right now, so you know it's not even as bright as it could be, and I think that the camera's doing pretty good. And I'm manually flying it right now. Okay. And if we have enough battery left, I'm going to get it to track my car just to show you it tracking something differently. Okay. And there it is. Okay. Yeah, I think it'd be a cool way too to use like the routes is kind of cool. If let's see if I can. Okay, we'll do that and make it waypoint there, and then just to use it. Okay, we're gonna bring it down. Flight complete. Okay, so right now I'm in my car and the wind is blowing, so I'm gonna put it in normal mode and see if we can just get a little quick follow here. Let's see. GPS follow.
Please release the parking brake.
Now we're gonna do a switch. That was the GPS follow. We'll exit. Okay. Our battery is gonna kick in pretty soon. Okay, now we're gonna try the image follow. So I think it's returning to home. So when the battery gets low, it returns to a restricted distance.
Distance limited.
And then it stays in that distance. So that way, if it loses battery, it's in a safe area. So when you do set up your return to home point, make sure you're somewhere safe, because if you're somewhere safe, then when the drone goes to its restricted area and flies back to its restricted area, you'll know that you're not near like water or trees or anything like that. So again, to explain, little floppy there, but it landed, a little hard. So again, to explain, when the battery gets low, it won't just return to home. What it'll do is it'll go to a restricted area, meaning it'll only fly in this restricted zone around its return to home point. So that's why it's important when you take your drone off, let it float for a little bit and get its GPS, you know, satellites and stuff. Make sure your GPS is full. Make sure you're not near water or trees or anything like that. Because say when we were flying out we went out that way. Say we flew out to do the 3,000 feet, but then it lost battery and it wanted to come back. The drone, you can cancel it by holding the stop button, but the drone will automatically come back to home on its own. But when it comes back to home, it won't come back to land. It's going to come back to, like, you know, I took off like here. So it would come all the way back from over there, and then it's going to come like right here, and then maybe it'll only fly in like a tight radius around here. That way, if the battery does drop all the way low and it lands anywhere around here, it's safe. So always make sure your return home is safe. My conclusion is I think it did really well. I think it showed off what it can do more this time around. I appreciate the camera. Remember, we got that SD card slot in there, so the footage is going to look even better on that. I think it's only 720 on the phone, but to get the full 4K, it's on that SD card. I used the Waypoints multiple times, and that worked out. Again, excuse my camera, but I use my phone, and this is an easy way for me to show you guys and flip back to the app. But I used the Waypoints multiple times, and they worked out. I think the drone is still great. The previous one, I think, was in the 150 range. This one is 239. I got another video coming soon where it'll be a buyer's guide on kind of like these Chinese drones, the drones that will be this exact drone, but they're rebranded as something else and they're like a higher price. Make sure you don't pay that price, okay? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I actually enjoyed shooting that. That was actually really nice. It's a perfect sunset, and you know, I think that one came out good. So I hope that tutorial helped you guys. I hope that gave you a way better idea about the F11 4K Pro drone.